Well, there are some people that feel that it's useless, that the doctors really are not that interested in their condition. And they feel that, well, this is it. This is what it's supposed to be, and they don't try to seek help. Where if they do seek help, I'm sure they can find doctors that are interested in the cure and will help them, but they're afraid. And some of them think it'll go away, or they don't believe the diagnosis was correct, and they feel that it's something that they don't have to worry about. And then when it finally gets so bad and they seek help, it's too late. Had I followed that way of thinking, I don't think I'd be sitting here now. I don't think I would. I am 87 years old, and I live in this big city. I live in the city of Detroit. I'm a widow. Presently, I'm a widow. My husband's passed away 10 years ago. He passed away with gastric cancer. We both had cancer at the same time. And I live alone. I have no children. I have no pets. I'm very active in my neighborhood, in my church, in several organizations, and I stay quite busy. And I have lots of friends, and I'm very proud of that, and I'm happy with them, and we have good times together. Most devastating thing I've had happen in my life when I was given the words that I did have cancer. And I had a panic attack, and I had to go in the hospital. I stayed about a week for that. And they walked me through it and let me know that my life would not be over because I had cancer. And the things that were being done, medical science was doing in this day and time for bladder cancer, that I had a very, very good chance of survival. And I listened to that, and I began to feel better. And then I did agree that I would let them remove my bladder. I chose the urostomy bag because I felt that would be simpler for me to handle, and I wouldn't have any problems running into emergency, because the way it was explained to me, there's some sort of muscle contact that you have to pass your water other than the bag. And a lot of people prefer that more so than the bag. But I chose the bag because I felt it would be easier for me to handle. If I couldn't do what was necessary to pass my water, I'd have to get up and drive to emergency to, get help. And with the bag, I could just take care of that myself. The surgery, it wasn't bad for me at all. Matter of fact, I had no pain whatsoever while I was in the hospital. From the time I had my surgery until the time I left for home, I didn't know what pain was. It was very easy. I didn't have any problems at all. The only thing about it, I was in bed for about a month, and that was boring. I wanted to get up, and I couldn't. And then towards the end of the month, I was able to go home. And they came to my home to make sure everything was safe for me. The hospital sent someone out. And they knew at that time that my husband was suffering with cancer, and they knew I had no help. So they made sure that I had someone, take care of me until I was able to do it myself. So everything worked out very good for me. I don't have any restrictions. Well, I have to be careful with my movements and lifting or things like that, because the bag is held on the body with adhesive, and that can be pulled, loose, and you can start leaking. But other than that, I don't have any problems. I think I was back to normal, I'd say in about a month or two. I was driving, and I was shopping, I was cooking, I was going back to my normal activities and social life. I was able to go right back to living the way I was prior to. So I don't see where it affected me at all. Well, of course, there's maybe there might be clothes that I want to wear, because sometimes the opener on the bag will show through your clothing, so you try to find clothes that will conceal it where it won't be seen. Mostly I wear separates, and I can buy the bottom half larger, so that way, it doesn't show. a dress or something like that, but pants or skirts, I buy the size. I stick with separates, and that way I can choose the size that I want, and that way it's concealed. So it's not hard to do. My support system was mainly my family and my friends and my church. My church played the biggest part. They were very good to me. From the time I talked with my minister and let her know that I had been diagnosed with cancer, then right away they started supporting me. And I'd get calls and people would come over and they'd do things for me. If I needed to come up for treatments or anything, they would bring me. I had church members to bring me up for the trips for my chemo. And like today, I have a girlfriend. I met her at church. We've become friends, and she brings me now when I do come up. When they found out that I was going to come up to have the surgery, the minister and her secretary asked me to bring some pictures in of myself. I didn't know what for, but they made a big collage of the pictures, and then they dropped the screen that Sunday at church and showed all the pictures. And then they had a big dinner for me in the social hall, and I was really surprised at that. And then I began to get cards, get well cards and different things, and with checks. And when I added the checks up, I had over $1,000, so it was made me feel very good. So people care, and when I was coming for chemo, everybody was so nice to one another. And we were just like one big family. Everybody was very nice to one another. While they're trying to put the needle in to give me the chemo, it was quite painful, and I guess I might have been crying or getting ready to or something. And one of the ladies that was taking her chemo noticed me. And she wrote me the sweetest note about I was going to be all right, and I know it's hard now, but you're just starting, but you're going to be fine. And that meant so much to me, and I still have it, and I will always treasure it, because I had never seen her before, and she had never seen me before. But to open her heart up to me and to make me feel good, and that made me feel real good after I read the note. I'm attending a support group now of survivors, and we meet every other month, and I'm meeting more people, and everybody's talking about what little problems they might have or what problems they did have, and we learn things from one another, especially ladies. You know, we have some problems that we like to discuss and get answers to, and maybe somebody has something they're using that might help me, and we exchange different things, and it's very interesting. My life is, I'd say, just about the same it was before, I had the surgery. I have a few things that are irritating at times, but it doesn't last. And one good thing about it, I don't have to get up and run to the bathroom like a lot of ladies do every 10 or 15 minutes, because I go when I get ready. So that's an advantage.